Hey guys, Dr. Holly here. Wanted to do a quick video for you. I have been getting a lot of questions about how do I prevent weight gain when I'm kind of stuck in the house all day. Even if you're getting out and doing some activity, which is important, we'll talk about that in a minute, we are kind of in a small space. We're not going to burn as much energy. And a lot of you I know are either maintaining a weight loss or you just don't want to gain anymore. So what are we going to do? What are some tips? What are some strategies? So I wanted to spend a few minutes on that today and kind of talk about what I'm doing. You know that I'm a weight fighter, a weight warrior that I like to talk about. If anyone can gain 15 pounds during the quarantine, and that's what a lot of people are calling it, quarantine 15. Yes, it's 15 days of staying in, but it's 15 pounds that you can gain. So we don't want the quarantine 15. We don't want to gain 15 pounds. If anyone could gain 15 pounds in 15 days, it's actually me. So I've been I'm going to share with you what I'm doing, some tips and strategies to not necessarily produce weight loss as much as is to prevent weight gain, right? We want to get through this. If we can lose a little bit, that might be good if that's what your goal is, but we for sure want to get through this and not have put on 10 pounds, right? Not have gained 15 pounds because that'll make us, that won't be a good mindset for us to be in, right? We want to feel empowered as we're moving through this. So what are some of the things that I'm doing? And I think I can do a series of these and we can all share kind of what are we doing to prevent the quarantine 15? What are we doing to push back, right? To push back against this virus that is going to kind of keep us at home for a while, going to make us socially isolate for a while, but doesn't have to make you gain weight. One of the biggest things I've been doing, and this is for mindset just as much as it is for eating and activity and other things, is writing out a schedule, is staying accountable and structuring my day. I think the tendency is for you to go, if you're at home and things have changed, you're no longer at work, is to stay in your sweats and to not really get dressed and to just kind of go with the flow, not to have that structure. And I found for me, that doesn't work. If I'm not structured, I'm wanting to eat more, I don't feel as empowered, I feel more of a victim to what's happening to me instead of the victor, right? Instead of that empowered person. So one thing that I would encourage everybody to do is literally write out your day. I do it in big sticky notes and I stick them on my window. You don't have to have sticky notes, but I would say write it on a piece of paper. Don't just think about it, write it down. I put my kind of schedule from yesterday up, what I was doing, because a lot of things on it were helpful. And this is where you have to see what's helpful with you, but I think the structure is the number one thing. The structure and the accountability and the planning is going to be critical during this time so that you don't gain weight. So for me, I talked about what time I'm going to get up. Right? I'm going to start my day, my normal time, 5 a.m. It talks about getting up for the sunrise, meditating, journaling. That's what I like to do. That gives me energy. That's good for my mindset. The body follows the mind. The mind is important in maintaining a weight just as much as food and activity. You want to get your mind right. I feel empowered. I'm in a more positive mindset when I start my day that way. I then wrote down all the things I'm going to do, including my exercise, running. So I can still go outside. I'm a runner. You may not be a runner. You don't have to run. But what kind of movement are you going to get in? And schedule it in, right? Write it down. Make it a priority. Give it structure. If you say, I'm going to get it in, but you don't say, I'm going to do it at this time, you're more likely not to get it in. And we know that physical activity is super important to prevention of weight gain and prevention of weight regain. You're going to be able to eat a little bit more. Your metabolic flexibility is going to be there, and your physiology is going to be better if you're moving more. It's also going to help with your immune system. But in terms of not allowing this quarantine 15 from happening, you got to move. So maybe it's a video, maybe it's a walk outside, whatever you're allowed to do, but schedule it. Don't just wait, because if you say, I'll do it when I can, and you don't have a specific time, more likely for it not to happen. So you can see my run was scheduled at noon. That was a good break for me too, right? So I was already kind of thinking about when did I need that in there. Did some more things, actually then even had at 5 p.m. I said, oh, you know what? I need to prep some food. I shouldn't just go and open that refrigerator and say, oh my gosh, I'm gonna eat whatever's in there, because that could be dangerous. I'm gonna prep some food that is gonna be healthy, that is going to allow me to feel good, have good nutrients and energy, but not be a lot of calories, because I know I have to limit my calories when my physical activity is limited, and it is, even though I went on my run. Where did I run? I went on my run. My physical activity is limited, so I know I do have to watch my caloric intake. The best way for me to watch my caloric intake is to plan what I'm gonna eat, make sure I use lots of vegetables, make sure I use good nutrients, but not high energy density, lower calorie foods that can fill me up. So I did some meal prep so I would have something to eat, so I wouldn't be going there hungry and grabbing the first thing I could, because that's not gonna be good for me, because if I do that, I'm probably gonna get more calories than I need. I also then put in some yoga and stretch. This time of the night, like 5, 6, 7, 8, is when I tend to get hungry. That's when I tend to want to eat all the time. It can be one big meal for me if I'm not careful. So what I've done is I've scheduled things that I'm going to do instead of eat, right? What can I do? Not what can't I do? So I'm going to do a yoga video. I ran, so I'm like, okay, I'm going to do some stretching because I know I'm getting tight. I'm sitting all day. I'm not moving as much. I'm getting tighter. So I decided yoga and stretching, also good for my mindset. You can figure out what's good for your mindset. I love to read, so I'm going to spend a special time that I'm going to read. I have some very specific things, some goals, some things I want to read during this time when I'm socially isolated. And then I'm going to get to bed early because I'm going to get up early, right? And I'm going to make sure I get enough sleep. I know that sleep's important in body weight regulation. I know that sleep's important for mindset and to stay healthy and immune function. So I'm gonna make sure I'm doing what I can, getting plenty of sleep. So I'm gonna try to go to bed at 9. Sometimes it works till 9:30 or 10, but I'm still getting in bed early, going to sleep so I can get up at 5 a.m. and watch the sunrise, which is really important to me. Most importantly, guys, and I write this to remind myself, is keeping my promises, staying on track. If I get off track during the day, when can I get back on? This gives me a roadmap. This gives me a plan. It makes me feel empowered. In addition, I just want to point you one more thing. Right here, I wrote TV off, because I have found that I cannot watch a lot of this TV. I mean, I know we need to be informed, and I do want to be informed, so I kind of limit myself to have like a certain amount of TV, like limit it. But I know that if I turn on the TV at night, it doesn't work well for me. So here is a note, TV off from noon on for me. And I'm going to get my information another way. Like I said, most importantly, keep your promises. It's not about perfection, it's about effort. And just by writing this, even if I don't stay perfect, even if I get off, and yesterday I watched more TV than I should, and all those things, but I have a plan to get right back on. And that feels so good because it's empowerment. It's because I'm doing something. It's because I'm controlling what I can control. Not perfectly, but I'm making the effort. I'm not being pushed around by what's happening to me. I'm deciding the direction I want to go. All these things I think are important in terms of stopping the 15, stopping the quarantine 15. So I'd love to hear what you're doing. I'm going to keep giving you some tips. I have a whole list of them, but I would love to share. What are you doing to prevent that 15 pounds of weight gain that could easily happen during this time when we're socially isolating, where we're physically isolating, where we're not getting out and being as active as we normally are with our lifestyle activities? Love to hear from you. I hope this was helpful. Let me know. Love y'all. We're in this all together. We're connected, and I will see you soon. Bye.